Welcome back to DIY Wood Revival. Today I'm going to show you how to turn these bits of scrap wood into a crosscut sled for a table saw. Let's get started.
I've been meaning to make one of these for a while. It'll come in handy whenever I have something to cut that's too big for my miter saw. I'm using 12mm plywood for the base of the sled, and to start I've marked out a section that's the same diameter as the table saw. I used this homemade circular saw guide to trim this up. If you're wondering how I put it together, there's a link in the description somewhere. For the end sections I'm using this piece of LVL, which is basically extra large plywood. You can use anything as long as it's got a nice clean factory edge. With the three main sections cut, I glued and screwed it all together, making sure everything was as square as possible. You might be thinking that this looks really basic. You'd be right. I've never used a crosscut sled before, so I want to make this as simple as possible and have a go at it for a while, and then I can come back and add more attachments to it or just make a new one. I know you can buy those fancy commercial sleds, but building one yourself is part of the fun. You get exactly what you want and you save a bunch of money in the process. Plus, every time I use it now, it feels good knowing I built it with my own hands. The next day I came back and cleaned up all the glue squares out with a chisel. This is particularly important in the inner edge so that whatever you're cutting sits flush with the back edge. The last thing to add was the runners that hold the sled in place, which I made out of trimmed up pieces of plywood. There's a bit of trial and error involved here. You don't want them too tight for the T-slot, otherwise the sled's not going to be able to move, and you don't want them too loose, otherwise when you make your cuts there's going to be too much movement and your cuts aren't going to be square.
So before I attach the runners to the bottom of this, I'm going to make sure that it's actually square to the table. Fortunately I cut this the exact width of my table saw, so I can just line that up, make sure it's all good, and then hopefully it'll be square, but it won't be perfect for sure, but I mean it's close enough for what I use it for. If it's a micro mill out, then it's not the end of the world. So I got the old wood glue and just a bit of super glue. I'll put a couple of drops of that on it, then press down, it should join all together and be sweet as, and the wood glue will hold it together forever.
The runners sit slightly proud so that they make contact with the sled, and the super glue will hold them in place until the wood glue cures. One of the best things about woodworking is building tools that help you build even more, like this sled. It's a simple jig, but it opens up so many possibilities. That's the cool part of the craft, solving problems and making your shop work better for you, one project at a time.
Alright, moment of truth, see if it fits. Straight in there. Oh, look at that. Beauty. When I put my workbench together, I routed out those channels in anticipation of building a sled, so that's good to go. Sweet as. Now I just need to make a cut on it through the saw. We're done. Nice.
As you can see now, if I was to use the saw at its max height, I'd probably cut all the way through the sled. If I was to make another one or upgrade this one, I'd add a piece on top there just so I could use the full range of the saw. In the meantime, this will be fine because I don't think I've ever used the saw at its max height. With the sled finished, it was time to give it a test run. There is a tiny bit of play between the sled and the table saw, as the runners can't be too tight otherwise they'll jam. But even with this bit of movement, I still get a really square cut.
That is bang on. Close enough for what I'm going to do with it anyway. That. Get that. Probably can't see that, but that. I can't see any light poking through there. That's perfect. Alright, there you have it. Scrap wood crosscut sled. It was quick as, only took, I don't know, an hour to put together, plus however long I waited for the glue to dry. I could have made it look fancier, seen them with all sorts of attachments and stuff and T-slots and whatnot. Maybe I'll upgrade it, maybe I'll make another one day, but I've only just put my workbench together. So I think I'll use this for a while and then I can make another one. I can still, like this is thick enough here, this edge, that you can still stop block on it and whatnot if you're making repeatable cuts. Like, it's all good. Perfect for what I need right now. We'll figure out the rest later on. Alright, if you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe for more DIY wood revival content. Thanks for watching.